are live, George.
Cool. Good evening, everyone. Hope we're all doing well. Well, you should be doing well. Yeah, happy Monday. Obviously, yesterday England become champions of Europe once again. And I keep getting a bit fed up of that tagline, especially being an Arsenal fan that helped win the Euros again. So we'll dive into that. I'll introduce you to my guests first. Laura, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, buddy. I think I've got a couple of more happier people around about me than anything.
Yeah, Paul, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, just about be recovering from last night's events, but yeah, all good.
Yeah, cool. And Kev, you doing well? Good to have you
brilliant, mate. Yeah. After boring my colleagues shitless today.
They're not more like the Joey Barton sort of fans, are they?
No.
No,
they're not that bad. But I'm starting to turn one or two of them round.
Yeah, nice.
But they won't be Arsenal fans because obviously they'll still support their Uniteds and Chelsea's.
Yeah, Chelsea ain't got many fans anyway. Women's
and one's a West Ham supporter.
Yeah, yeah, my sympathies. But obviously we'll dive into sort of some of the aspects of the game, but obviously I want to go through the rest of the team, how we thought they done. We'll start. I'll actually start with you, Laura. Obviously, when we saw the lineup, we saw that I think there was one change, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was Jess Carter.
Jess Carter coming in for Morgan. Was that expected, or do you think that was a bit harsh on Esme? Like, what's your thoughts with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think both players have obviously had their moments in the competition where Jess, of course, in the Netherlands played really well, and then of course Esme comes in for the early game and does what she does. But I think Jess Carter herself was a bit shocked that she was selected for this game, because I'm pretty sure in one of her interviews yesterday after the game, she did say, she was like, "What, you trusted me to go back in?" But I suppose on that mindset that you're just kind of like, as long as there's someone in there that can properly defend against Spain, and I think that's what Jess did, and she deserves her flowers for that one.
Yeah. Paul, we'll come to you. Obviously, we've spoke about this person quite a lot on this show and in previous shows about Lauren James. I'll let you say what you want to say about her first. Do you think she's just not match fit, or do you think she had a decent tournament? What's your views on her, or do you just think she's not as this is gonna be dangerous. She's not as good as everyone may think consistently?
I think that's pretty much spot on. I think she has the odd moment here and there, but you've got to look at it longer term. She hasn't played for months at club level. Then she's brought into the England squad. She's brought straight into the games, and she's been playing 120 minutes in some of them. And that's a big ask for any player to do such a thing. But I think yesterday she just didn't look fit from the moment that the whistle blew to kick the game off. And she did quite well as a left back a few times, but obviously that's not where she's meant to be. So she was doing some good defensive work, but not getting up in the box, not getting any crosses in. And yeah, she just looked slow.
Yeah. Evening, James, as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're better than you was on holiday. And this is really, it is controversial because I like to start controversially. I just think Lauren James has the ability to change the game on its head in a matter of seconds. We know that, but consistently for England, I don't really see it that much. Kev, I don't know if you agree. Like, I just don't. I think people like everyone bands on about Lauren James, and people are going to say that's because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I just don't see Chloe Kelly or Michelle Adjiman getting that sort of, and even maybe a Bieber Jones. Like, I think when she's come on, I think she's been dangerous. But with Lauren James, I don't know. A lot of people just seem to be blinkered by her.
She has the ability to be one of the world's best players. It's as simple as that. But it is about part of it, I think, is down to attitude. And obviously, part of this tournament has been down to fitness. But yeah, in my book, she has got the ability and the potential to rank up beside the likes of Bonmati and Putellas.
Yeah.
But it's about application and staying fit as well. I don't know whether the fitness thing runs in the family, but they seem to pick up injuries, the pair of them.
Yeah.
I think our brother's even joked about that. He put a post out today, didn't he? Rewatching the England game back, and he's obviously took a screenshot of when Lauren James went down, and he wrote, "It just runs in the family, sis," or something. He wrote, so it does. But I think with Lauren James is that many people blow smoke up her booty that it gets to her sometimes. I think if you were to take that hype away from Lauren James, she would be able to play her football freely and with less what's the word I'm looking for? Less pressure on her that she's got to live up to what everyone's saying about her. And
Yeah,
I think that's the problem with Lauren James when she gets into these big competitions is there's too much smoke blowing on her that she just doesn't know how to handle it, or she comes across as cocky about it.
I get the injury thing. Like, I get that. Like, but she'd been injured. She was injured going into it, realistically. But then there was other players that were on the pitch who were injured as well. That I still think seemed to put a lot more, lot more effort in and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying Lauren James is shit. So before and people jump on that, I'm not saying that at all. What I mean is at the moment where she's not as match fit, maybe it's best for her to come off the bench for 10, 15, 20 minutes, like what we've done with Michelle, what we've done with Chloe. I don't know. She doesn't seem like the Lauren James of yesteryear that we've seen that can tear teams apart in a matter of seconds. I wasn't impressed with her that much in this tournament. People might say, "Oh yeah, but they've won the Euros," but you can still analyse the player's performance. Like, let's be honest, Lotta didn't do nothing to win the Euros, did she? So that's not me being biased. I think with Lauren James, like you said, Laura, she does have a lot of pressure on her. The limelight is always on her. Even I think a game earlier in the tournament, I think she might have scored or set one up, and all the reporters after, it's all about Lauren James. Like, it must be quite a lot of pressure. I just think maybe Serena will probably sit back and think, you know what, I'm gonna probably look to build the team round you, Lauren James, but in a way that pressure can be taken away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing about Lauren James. But I'll get all the Chelsea fans saying, "Oh, it's Lauren James."
But if
yeah,
you
anyway.
said that Lauren James wasn't the only one that had a bad competition,
No.
Roger Stanley had a bad one again, another one that came in injured. Lauren Hemp didn't have the greatest tournaments either, but yet again another one that came back from an injury and was.
It's a common theme, isn't it, Laura? Like, it's the players who didn't really get to play that much. The players that didn't play that much. Like, I don't think Alex Greenwood had the best, to be honest, but she wasn't awful, but it wasn't the best. Like you say, the players we've mentioned, they're all come into the tournaments with not playing week in, week out football for quite a while because they've had injuries.
So then, what was Kieran Walsh's excuse then?
It's Kira Walsh, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe Switzerland don't have Sainsbury's or something.
I was going to say she didn't like the supermarkets.
She didn't like the Spurs. But yeah, we'll go into the game because obviously, in case it divulges into other stuff, because there is other bit like this will show that I'm not fully against players that play for Chelsea because there is a really big piece I want to talk about Hannah Hampton, and I don't think it's been spoke about enough. So obviously going into the game, Paul, we knew obviously what potential Spain could hold just with playing them before, and obviously us knowing obviously with Mariona. But if she misses penalties like that at Arsenal, to Kim Little like spears her to the ground and takes the ball off of her. What was your thoughts like on the first half? Obviously, I know we went behind. Yeah, how was you feeling even when the first goal went in?
We always knew it was going to be a tough game. I mean, they are the world champions. Half their team play for Barcelona, so they know how they play. But going into the game, it was a bit like us in Lisbon, wasn't it? We went in as the slight underdogs. We had nothing to lose, and we went for it. And I was hoping that we could get at least till half time without conceding. Obviously, that didn't happen. But all in all, I don't think the first half was too bad. Then there was that obviously injury to Lauren James, and she had to come off for Chloe. I think that that was sort of a bit of a turning point in the game because, like we've already touched on, Lauren wasn't fully fit and she wasn't at her best. And then you've got Chloe Kelly off the bench, and sort of a game changer, really. So yeah, I wasn't that disheartened that we went in 1-0 down because I could see the potential and I could see that we can get back into this. And yeah, we had the secret weapons off the bench again later in the game. But yeah, I have to say it was a good game. I think if you were in neutral, I think you'd have really enjoyed it even more.
Apart from the Scottish fans, I think.
Well, yes.
But yeah, Dorian evening as well. Things have changed. Dorian's even singing about Chloe Kelly. Like, yeah, it's all gone. I feel like Doctor Who in a time warp. Yeah, obviously, Kev. Obviously, we watch Mariona week in, week out. We know how amazing and probably world class she is. I don't think she had the worst tournament. I don't think we see the best of her either. But what was your thoughts, obviously, on Mariona, like just on the whole?
Yeah, she didn't seem to be at her best, but then, I mean, as far as holding the ball, making the runs, picking out passes, she did her normal stuff.
Yeah.
I think her shooting was a little bit off par. Because to be fair, I mean, in injury time, or sort of in the second half last night, I was quite expecting her to pull the trigger a bit more because she was getting into those positions where, for us, she puts it top bins. And it just didn't seem to happen for her last night. Maybe she just didn't want to upset our girls.
Yeah. Realise she's got to go back. Yeah, I think that I've said it for a long time on here. I think Mariona's probably one of the only world class players that we have. Like I measure world class probably different than what a few other people do, but yeah, but I think what people forget as well, when obviously Arsenal's Champions League campaign was the longest as well. So it does take out, and then you're going from that straight into a highly competitive Euros. It's going to take its toll, isn't it? So yeah, then we move on to obviously Chloe Kelly, Laura come on for Lauren James, and then what a surprise! But she don't score goals, Laura, does she? She plays up front and doesn't score goals. Is my queen Russo? What a player she is! Oh, mate, the amount of people I've handed out receipts to today about Russo, but she don't score goals, George. Yeah, that's why she's won the Euros and the Champions League and gonna probably win the Ballon d'Or, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the players touch on it as well when they're talking about Alessia, when they say, but you don't realise the work that she does off the ball and a work rate to try and pull players out of position, and then even taking that the way she did yesterday, backpedaling on that line to try and get to that header is just something special. And I'm pretty sure she also said that one of her coaches when she was younger says to her, "You're really shit at headers. Don't head the ball ever." Like, but for her to take that header and obviously get the equaliser, and to prove many people wrong, are critics that say Butcher doesn't score goals. But that's the beauty of football these days, that it's not always a striker that can score goals. It's anybody on that park, and of course that's what a team's about. That's what a team sport's about. If one person can't do it, but can draw someone out of position to get someone else into position to score a goal, then of course you're going to want to take it. And the way England have done it through this Euros is especially, then you're relying on all those people to possibly maybe step up and notice that Alessia Russo or Michelle Adriman was at a position and they could be there to put the ball in the back of the net. And of course, for England, that's what happened throughout this Euros.
Yeah, it's just a point I want to touch on with Leslie, Paul. Like, she hasn't scored as many goals as probably she would like. I think we know that she's a proper goal scorer, wants that. But the work, what she does off the ball when she's chasing after that, like the ball in the Sweden game, in the 98th minute, she's sprinting like it's the first 5 minutes. That surely has to be mentioned in Leslie Russo's play. Like, are people really that short-sighted that they only look at it? And that's quite ironic coming from someone who can't see at all. But like, they're really that short-sighted that all they see is, oh, Russo ain't scored. Oh, she missed that chance.
Yeah, I mean, her work rate that goes in, we've said it many times for both England and for Arsenal. She's all over that pitch. She's getting back, helping in defence. She's in midfield. She's giving assists. She's dragging the players out to one side, which then releases someone else that's available to get in behind them. And you know, she she has had a long season as well. We touched on it earlier that that's the longest Champions League campaign at Arsenal, and as well as the WSL season. So sometimes they go for these little bits of goal droughts up front, but you've got to look at the bigger picture. She's not just going to stand there in the box, have the ball passed to her and kick it in the net. She's not that type of a player. She is a proper team player. And yes, she will get goals when the opportunity comes up. And yes, she will miss some opportunities, but she's only human. But the work rate she puts in for the team when she's on that pitch is fantastic.
Yeah, but it just makes me have the argument don't stand up because weren't she like joint Golden Boot winner? But you don't do that if you don't score, do you? So it's like what James is just hit now on the head. Like, if you haven't got the midfield linking up and assisting her, what is she meant to do? Because if you actually watch Leslie, on some point she goes onto the wing to get the ball. She has to go back. So I just think she's a complete all-round team player, and all the criticism that she gets, Well, we all know who it's from, don't we, guys? Like, let's be honest. Like, it's not from Arsenal fans. It's normally from teams that play in blue. So, maybe it's because they don't have a proper striker anymore. So maybe it's that. Kev, obviously, I'll come to you. Like, I don't really want to talk too much about it, but as everyone on there knows, I love a good moan about an official. Absolutely, I do like one. Like, what was your thoughts on the refereeing's performance?
Definitely flat up.
Yeah, I wasn't that good.
She's one of the best referees out there, but
That's what worries me.
she was well and truly conned by the Spanish divas last night. I mean, the classic one is the Michelle Adjumang one.
Yeah.
Didn't touch her. She's jumped up in the air about 3 foot as though she's been sort of stepped on a lamb. And yeah, no wonder Michelle stood there sort of open mouthed. What the? But yeah, it beats me whether it's a European thing, whether they just don't like the way we play football. I don't know. It's because it wasn't just that. You know, it's been. We saw it in the Champions League games.
Yeah.
You know, where certain things are allowed a lot more, which stuff that's not generally played that way in the WSL, but yet, yeah, it's just a strange one, and it will continue to be that way. We've just got to, as English, as an England team, and obviously in the Champions League, we're just going to have to learn to live with it and play the game.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, a lot of love for Leslie in the chat. Like, a couple of people said, like, obviously she has set up goals and some really important goals as well, which I don't think gets spoke about. But yeah, completely agree, guys. Keep the comments going. Also, please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll go into the dreaded penalty shootout, Laura. I hate penalty shootouts. Like, I really do.
Have no fear.
Yeah, I've seen Arsenal in penalty shootouts. That's what worries me. Yeah. So, what was your thoughts going in? I'll be honest. I wasn't as worried as I was against Sweden, and I don't know why.
Yeah, again, as I say, penalties. They've absolutely done my nut in this tournament. I was sick of the sight of them. You know,
They've been good, haven't they?
It's Joey Barton said they should never ever get a pay rise or equal pay because of how dreadful they have been. But I genuinely thought yesterday's ones were, I wouldn't say they were better than some of them that have obviously happened throughout the tournament. But if it hadn't been for Hannah Hampton, I think some of those Spain ones that i.e. Bonmati's and Mariano's would have hit the back of the net.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, praise to Hannah Hampton. I think she was outstanding all competition, and she's obviously done her homework, and like she stepped up in Mary Epps's position considering the circumstances that she was brought in as number one goalkeeper. And to be honest with you, I think this tournament, Serena made the right decision on that one of picking Hannah and putting the trust in her. And I know I went on X this morning and a few people are slating Leah for saying, oh, but we're going to go into a tournament without Mary Epps. I think that's been taken out of context and people should just chill out. and stop the slander on Leah and whatever Leah says. I think they forget that Serena also said that losing a big character like Mary Earps was wrong before a tournament. But going back to the penalties, I thought when Beth Mead slipped, I thought, oh no, oh no, this isn't going to go England's way. And then of course Spain pull it back, and then obviously Alex Greenwood steps up and puts England back in the lead, and then Mariona steps up, and you're thinking, oh, well, Mariona's already missed a penalty in this tournament, and then you're not expecting Aitana Bonmati to miss hers the way she did, and then Paluelo to miss hers the way she did. That was dreadful. That's one that you could say was genuinely a stinker.
Yeah.
And then,
Hooked.
yeah.
It was a proper hooked stinker. It was like, but yeah, I was. I think like what as well with the penalty shootout is quite a pressurizing moment, Laura, isn't it? As well, like you got to have nerves of steel really in that sort of setting.
Well, you think of Beth Mead. You think for Beth Mead to step up again, considering she lost her penalty in Sweden game.
Yeah,
that would have shaken her. She probably would have been one that probably wouldn't have wanted to take one. But in that moment where you look at England's squad at that time and you think, who's going to step up here for their penalties? Because of course, like so that Lucy Bronze was off, Alessia Russo was off the pitch. And the only one at that moment in time you're thinking is that you can trust to win the penalty is Chloe Kelly. You're just kind of like, who's going to step up here? And then, of course, when you actually watch when Leah's asked if she wants to take a penalty, she's kind of like, oh, well, I'm going to have to step up here. And that's brave to do that, considering she's not a regular penalty taker.
yeah. Evening to a couple other people in the chat. Ryan, I hope you're good, mate.
I know why Ryan's in this podcast, because he wants to hear me say a few of the German names, didn't he?
Yeah, we'll have to hold you to that. And Red Army as well. Thanks for joining as well. Remember to subscribe. Yeah, obviously, I think a few things have been spoken about with the penalties. Obviously, all in our excited moment, we all forgot how well Joey Barton was at penalties. So we'll get to Mr. Joey Barton. Yeah, a bit later in the show. Not going to give him too much because he don't deserve that much. So yeah. Paul, obviously, we were talking. Obviously, Chloe Kelly. She's just. I know Michelle Adjiman gets a lot of praise, which I think she fully deserves. But the story of Chloe Kelly, it's like a Hollywood film, isn't it? Like you go from earlier in the season, she was outcasted by Man City. There's no other word for it. Probably treated not in the best way that she should have been. She left Man City so she could fall back in love with football and play. Just get some game time, really. And then she went and won the Champions League and the Euros. Like, no, I don't think you could have a really better end to the season, could you, if you're Chloe Kelly?
Yeah, it was written for her to do it. You know, she came back to us. She won the Champions League with us. And then, off the bench again, just like she did 3 years ago. Okay, she didn't score the goal in open play, but steps up and, takes that penalty. The confidence she had, when she was putting that ball down, you just knew it was going in the back of the net. And yeah, absolutely. She must be on cloud 9 at the moment.
Yeah. I just seen a comment. It's Darren. So we all know what it's going to be. Darren, Stina, player of the tournament. Yeah. That can go as far as you wanting to sign our liver patty from Spain. Not happening, mate. Anyway, Red Army made a good point. Is about Chloe Kelly for Sports Personality of the Year. Kev, why not?
It would upset Joey too much, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Even more reason to do it.
Yeah. It is a good shout because her popularity, yeah, it would go a long way. Because I mean, the whole story, everything, but I think we've been spoilt over the last few years with sports personality, with Beth, Mary.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably be looking elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, she could well get a nomination.
Yeah, but I just think the story of Chloe Kelly has been such an amazing one, and not even in a year, is it? It's like a matter of months. Well, might be actually this calendar year, but that's like a few months. Basically her whole life's just changed and been turned around. Yeah, Stina is in good form, but she's not player of the tournament. That's like saying Neve Charles. That Doran would be happy with that. But anyway, we'll go into analysing some of the players. So I want to start with Hannah Hampton. So I don't know if everyone is aware of this, but actually Hannah Hampton is visually impaired. I only realised this about last couple of weeks. So for people that are not aware, she has no depth perception with her visual equality. So that means she would really struggle to see what you guys would see as a whole picture. So she could see certain bits on the side and quite well in front, but not as detailed. So for Hannah Hampton to do what she's doing, just to be a professional footballer, here's your F-bomb, is fucking amazing. And it just shows whatever disability you have isn't a disability, it's an ability. But Laura, I want to come to you. We're all Arsenal fans, so I think if we can try and take it away from that a bit, Hannah Hampton does play for Chelsea, but generally, just as a footballer, to have that difficulty and to be told that she'll never play football or do that, and she's just done what she's done, that's heroin like behaviour for me. Like that. What do you think?
Yes, obviously somebody who's deaf as well with a disability and knowing how hard it is to be told something like you can't do this or you can't do that. It always gives you that determination to show people that actually, do you know what, you can do that. We will do that and we will prove you wrong. And that's exactly what Hannah has done. She's as I said earlier on, to come up against critics going into this tournament, even with just the thought of her being number one, she brushed that aside. She told us all, look what I can do. And then, of course, dealing with obviously the disability that she has, and again, telling everyone, I can do that and I will do that. That, as you touched on it, George, it's just heroic stuff. And hats off to Hannah. Take the Chelsea thing away from her. She's a world class player, and she's a person that you look at and you think that's just amazing what you've achieved, and of course what you've done for your country, and our players that play with her in and out, and our managers, of course, Serena and Sonia and anyone that plays with her at club and country must be so proud of her, just as many people in England are.
Yeah.
Hats off to them.
No, very. Scott, this doesn't mean I'm going in goal. I've got the belly for it, not the eyes. So yeah. I just thought it needed to be mentioned, because I know that RNIB have shared it, saying about the depth perception. I would not have thought that she I never would have guessed. Like, I'm not being. It just means I can't shout out you blind bastard to her next season. So, but no, yeah. So Paul, also moving on to someone else, someone that I was very highly critical of, Lucy Bronze. Feel a bit bad now. Not gonna lie. So for those who don't know, look, apparently she's been playing with a fractured tibia. I think most of the tournament. So I think what that shows a lot of character and grit from her, doesn't it? As well, to be playing for the pain barrier must have been, and the pain she was in must have been massive. But I think she kind of stood up to all. Like she did do. There was some bad moments, but when it counted, she was there, wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, there was a few moments earlier on in the tournament where she wasn't quite at the quickest that we've seen her. She was out of position a little bit, but yeah, when it counted, she was there. And the other game, she was there strapping up her own leg while Hannah was getting treatment for a nosebleed, and and then you just saw it in that final. Her leg just gave way. She could hardly put any pressure on it, and that was just half an hour too long in a tournament. But it just goes to show what a player she is. When she's there representing her country, she pushed through that pain barrier, and she was there for the rest of the team. So absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. Then Kev, we'll talk about the captain, a certain Leah Williamson. I actually thought she played really well throughout the tournament. I thought she led how she normally does in the last few months at Arsenal. So she's obviously got that experience. Like she wears the country's hopes and all that, and it's a lot of pressure. So what did you think of Leo? And I just think she really, really talks well as well.
Yeah, she's a very good speaker. And I have to admit, I've watched a lot of her interviews and her appearances because I love listening to her speak. I mean, the passion she has for promoting the women's game and trying to push it forward, she's unbelievable. I mean, I think I've watched one she did at Oxford.
Yeah,
I've seen that one a few times. Brings a bit of comedy into it as well now and again because she don't mind taking the mick out of herself. But yeah, she did her normal and had the odd missed pass, but then that's the way they play. It's all the trying to do it when the space gets closed down and they're still playing it to and fro and they just get closed down, but they still keep playing the ball to and fro. And you end up playing it into a dangerous area where the player's under too much pressure from the press. But other than that, yeah, she was her normal, brilliant self. What can you say? She can pick the passes out, the long diagonals, which we love. I love seeing them week in, week out at Arsenal. She's got the vision. And her last-ditch tackles, she just reads the game a lot better these days.
Yeah.
And she is back to her best. She's definitely back to her best. I mean, she proved that in the Champions League final and again last night. She loves them UEFA gold medals.
She likes beating Spanish oppositions. Yeah. Louise, thank you for watching as well. I think Dorian will be all right because he's Welsh as well, so you've got company now. But yeah, and well done to Wales and I'm not being patronising for Dorian says it, but well done for qualifying for the Euros. And yeah, remember to hit that subscribe button for all the new people that are watching. It's really appreciative. And then finally, I think she deserves her flowers as well. Laura is Michelle. I think a lot of people went into the tournament thinking, oh, she might get like few minutes off the bench, and I don't think anyone in their wildest dreams would have expected Michelle to do what she's done, would they?
No, I mean, especially to be picked ahead of, obviously, Aggie Beaver-Jones, who's obviously had a better season in the WSL in terms of time on the pitch for Chelsea, the goals that she scored for Chelsea. I think Aggie Beaver-Jones was Chelsea's top goal scorer last season, so to get on the pitch before even her, it just shows the commitment that Michelle has put into herself, the belief that she puts into herself, the belief that other people around about her put into herself and into her, sorry. And she's obviously been doing something right in camps that catches Serena's eye for her to put her trust in, to be able to then say, do you know what, we're in the dying minutes here. We need a big game player to come on and maybe change this. And Michelle has done that. And then, of course, she comes away from the tournament as young player of the tournament, which I genuinely thought was going to happen anyway, because looking from watching all the games that obviously I was able to watch from coming back from Egypt, Michelle just stood out as a young player, and she just proper took the tournament on with her own stride, and nothing looked to phase her either. So I'm really excited to see what Michelle's going to bring back for us going forward in the next season, and hoping that we don't loan her out. And it just gives us that excitement to see what she's going to do for Arsenal and England going forward, because she's just such an exciting talent. And of course, well done to her for getting the young player of the season. Hats off to her.
Yeah, I don't think we loan her out now. I think Renee's aware that you need to have a big squad to compete for more than one trophy, and if you've got Stina, Russo, and Michelle, Olivia Smith, Kelly, Mead, Ford, that's the options I think that they'll probably be looking at. Paul, and then we'll finish with Serena. I think she deserved. I think there was a bit of muted criticism, wasn't there, and thought a bit of pressure on Serena, like, well, what if when we lost to France, or if we don't get through the group, does that mean she'll walk? Or if we lost in the quarterfinals, but she's come up trumps again, hasn't she? Is that that's three finals in a row, I think, and two of them we've won. Obviously, we were unlucky in the World Cup, but yeah, I think she's in the process now of basically rebuilding another team, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, we came into this tournament as the defending champions, World Cup runners-up, and we were in a group with very good teams. And when you're playing teams that are ranked so closely to you in the world, you're not going to win every single one of those, as much as we'd love to. But yeah, we didn't get that opening result that we wanted, which meant we were straight into knockout football. But she turned it around. She made some changes, and we've won it. So, something that she's doing is definitely working. And I think with the Michelle getting the nod ahead of people like Aggie Beaver-Jones, there was obviously something done in training, and there was some set moves between her and Chloe Kelly and people that the opposition just didn't know what was going to happen. Aggie Beaver-Jones has had game time at Chelsea. They could have studied her, know what sort of player she's like. Michelle hasn't had the high profile game time because, no disrespect to Brighton, but they're not a European club. They haven't been playing Champions League football. And, she's sort of gone under the radar a little bit. And I think that's what Serena was banking on, was that little, this is the unknown. Let's bring her on and let's try these things and get one over on the opposition. I mean, I watched Michelle play for the England under-23s back earlier this year, and you watched her there, and possibly slightly biased because of the Arsenal connection, but she didn't look like an under-23s player. She looked like she'd been playing for England for like 10 years.
Yeah.
She is that type of a person. And even watching her in this tournament, she doesn't look like the 19-year-old that's, first tournament. She looks like she's been 3 or 4 tournaments. She's that mature mentally. And I think that's what Serena has seen in her. That, and Serena's the one that's, got to make those difficult choices. And luckily for us, most of the time, it's been paying off.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to go round and have. I know Darren said he thought Russo was his player of the tournament, so it'd be interesting to see what you guys are. So, Laura, I'll start with you. Who is your player of the tournament? Was it Russo or was it someone else?
God, it's a toss up between Chloe Kelly and Alessia Russo for myself. I think Alessia Russo just tips it a little bit with obviously what she's done throughout the season with Arsenal, and then of course the hard work that she's done in this Euros. And I know obviously people will be saying no, but we'll go back to the whole, but she barely get any goals. But I think Russo's work rate as well as Chloe Kelly. It's a hard one for me.
Yeah. What about you, Kev?
Much as I hate to say it, given the name on the shirt behind me, I would have to go with Chloe Kelly.
Yeah.
For the impact. I mean, Les worked her socks off for the entire tournament with very little reward. But Chloe's impact, given where she was in January, ready to quit. I think, she's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I think Chloe, for me, I just think because the impact she had at the end of the day, if it wasn't for her, we don't win the Euros. For me, I think that's as simple as it is, because them goals and her play are what got us through. And then, like, Russo had a very, very good tournament for me. Like I said earlier, like the goals that she did score, the assist play and all the stuff she does off the ball and her work rate. But I just think Chloe Kelly offered something else, which just for me just nudges her alongside ahead of Russo. But like, to be fair, Russo will win the Ballon d'Or. Like, because I it's an interesting thing, because realistically she only had two other people ahead of her, and they were both Spanish. So I can't see how they don't give that to Leslie Russo now. She's won the Champions League. She was Golden Boot winner in the domestic league. She's just won the Euros. She scored in the Euros final. There's not much more you could do, is there, really?
I think Chloe Kelly has also been entered into that today as well.
Okay, so yeah,
And I think Chloe Kelly has entered the top 5 as of today.
Yeah, so Russo, I think it has to. It probably should be someone like an English player. Like, I just think obviously it's Russo or Kelly for me, but I think Russo probably deserves it. Like, and the only reason that is just I've been consistently over the season. Obviously, Kelly done it from January, didn't she? Where Russo's done it from the start to the end. So I think that's what edges Russo ahead for me. Paul, your player of the tournament. Obviously you can't go for Katrina McCall, but anyone else?
I actually think we need to give a lot of credit to Hannah Hampton for everything she's been through over the last couple of months. Obviously, we touched on earlier about her eyesight, but also the pressure that must have been on her following in the footsteps of Mary Earps, and all the pressure that people say, oh, Mary stepped down. Is Hannah going to be able to step up to that role? And if we end up losing it, is it her fault? Is it Serena's fault for, giving her the nod ahead of Mary, and Mary basically saying, well, if I'm not number one, I'm not being involved, sort of thing. And then it's come out as well today that she lost her granddad just 2 days before the tournament. So going into basically your first tournament as number one goalkeeper and losing someone so close to you as well, with everything else that's been going on, she played an absolute blinder for the whole tournament.
Yeah, so just catching up with Darren. I know you're saying Bon Mati will win it. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't think so this season. I know we all think it's not like FIFA or UEFA to do stuff that's not a fix, but I just think I don't know.
I can understand why people would look at it that way, because if you look at the ceremony yesterday and you look at like the likes of Nadine Kessler and of course many of the other ones up there, that they were given like Michelle Adriman, for instance, went up to get a reward and it was shaking a hand until I think she got to one of the English FA people, which was one of the women, and then obviously that Nadine was next to the English FA. And it was like, they were just kind of looking at Michelle like, oh, it's not a Spanish player that's in front of us. So I can understand why people would probably look at it like that, because I would see it as the UEFA and whatever would probably benefit.
Yeah.
I hope that it was a Spanish player that was in the running for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I get why people think it. You'd like to hope. Maybe it's the hopeless romantic in me that they'll actually give it to a player that deserves it. But then obviously I thought it was a decent tournament on the whole, but I'll say like the underdogs who I thought done really well, sort of like your underdogs for the tournament. I'm going to go for Italy because they've done a lot better than I honestly thought. I'm not that much knowledgeable when it comes to international football. Dorian will probably say I'm not knowledgeable at all, but so I'm getting that in before he says it. But yeah, I thought Italy had a really, really good tournament. What about you, Laura? If you kind of had to pick underdogs or a player or...
Yeah, I'm going to go Switzerland. Of course, being the home nation, and we know we've seen it through England how much pressure that can be to perform on the big stage, and I thought they did really well, and to get to where they got to was just unbelievable. And even just, I don't know if anyone else has seen, but like Leah put up a post today, and it was Leah and the Switzerland team sending all the teams like packages, just welcoming them to Switzerland. I just thought that was a classy act, and I'm going to say Switzerland.
Cool. You expect Leah to be classy though, because she's at a classy team, isn't she? So,
well, Jack said there was many people he spoke to today, and they called us arrogant. So,
I wouldn't say it's arrogant. I'd say it's very, 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 very smug, and just it's different levels. Like when Arsenal knock Olivia Smith found that out, when you're the champions of the world, like we are, and then when we go to wherever the Champions Cup club thing will be, we'll win that and all, and then we'll win the WSL at Anfield next season. So, I've got it all planned.
I could imagine what you're going to say to Gareth Taylor.
Oh mate, I can't wait. Over knee slides and everything. It'd be like a synchronized knee slide with me and Chloe Kelly. She'll have to guide me. So, Kev, underdog of the tournament. Who are we going for?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with you on Italy.
Yeah.
Because, they just set themselves up in the way they wanted to play, and they stuck with it. And to be fair, I must admit, I didn't feel sorry for them when they all burst into tears in the last minute. But I did feel a bit sorry for them because they had stuck to it and they had performed really well. A couple of standout players, but they did well. And come the World Cup, let's see how qualification goes for that, because I think there could be some upsets in the qualification.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think there's some good teams like up and coming as well. The only team that do need to sort themselves out, who like the crumble of the tournament, is Norway for me. Yeah, they've got to sort themselves out. They've got some
You
really
were
good
going to say
players.
Scotland there. I was going to say that's never going to happen.
No, do you think I'm that brave or stupid? No, no. Don't like say something like that, and Mel will like send like a sheep's head and on a pillow or something. So yeah, I'm not that brave or stupid. So yeah. Just want to say thank you for all the comments in the chat. Louise, thank you for subscribing. If you want to get involved and come on the show, like, you are more than welcome. Just reach out to one of us. Either you can comment on here, and I think someone will probably see it, or we're also on Twitter, X, whatever they call it these days, at the Arsenal Women Chat Show, or we can work out how to get you involved, like on the groups and stuff. Yeah, so just want to say thank you to everyone. Really, really appreciate the support and all the chat. I think it's been another good show. A successful summer for some of us. Not poor old Jack with his Italy flag. Don't know, he's gone a bit quiet since all that. So they would normally call him the Italian stallion, but I don't think they have many stallions in Grimsby. So and I haven't been able to wind him up like this because he's been in hiding. He's not been on the show since Italy went out. So it's like, don't know. It's a bit like what they do on Talk Sport. Has anyone seen Jack? That's what it is. So, but on that, we will be back hopefully from next week, where we will be talking about the best team in the universe, Arsenal Football Club. So obviously we've seen the fixtures got released. We're starting at London City Lionesses, the Freya Godfrey Derby, as I'm calling it. But yeah, we'll go more into that and then talk about some other transfer stuff. Got a lot of content coming up this season, guys. Like, we'll do the usual what we do, like with the watch-alongs. If you can't get to the games, there'll be some of us on here. My record is not the greatest on watch-alongs, I'm not going to lie. When I've done them on here, we've either lost or they've been really boring. When I've done them on Ryan's show, they've all gone to extra time. So make of that what you do. Make of that what you will. So yeah, just keep tuned. Obviously, please hit that subscribe button. Please share, and anyone who wants to get involved, we're always looking for people to come on. Just want to say thank you to my guests. Kev, thank you again. You have done really well and appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Cool. Hopefully see you this season at the games. Well, I won't see you, but you know what I mean. You probably hear me first, to be fair. Paul, thank you as well. Hopefully catch up with you when we're doing like a 9 a.m. pub meet up in, I don't know, Manchester or something, whenever it is.
Yeah, definitely up for that.
For these 12 o'clock games.
Yeah.
And Laura, thank you as always. Like, I really, really appreciate you massively stepped up and helped me out through this summer. So it means a lot.
That's what you do for your friends, innit? You step up and you help them out. So it's been a pleasure, Claude.
Thank you. And yeah, just thank you to everyone else. So we'll be back hopefully next week, but watch this space. And then, yeah, hope you all have a really good week. Remember, keep smiling because we all support the Arsenal. Good night.